So we have started recording. Uh, Today is actually one of my favorite topics, and even though there's only a very few number of slides, I'll spend a lot of time, probably another session, if not two more sessions, on videos on social media. Uh, Videos are very, very, very powerful medium in social media. But let's go ahead and kind of look at the agenda. Again, we're going to go over the cause and the mission for these trainings. And then I'm going to talk about why videos, where I can obtain some videos, and how to track your videos that are being watched. And we'll go through some questions. And again, our cause is to increase awareness of Archibus throughout the world. Our mission is to collaborate our efforts to increase traffic to our individual websites and Archibus website for the purpose of increasing sales, and that's really particular about today's session on video, because video can actually get away from us in a way that we can't track it, and I'll talk about that a bit today. So first thing, why videos? Well, they're very visual. It shows motion. It has sound to it. It does evoke emotion, and it tells a story. I'm going to open up my PowerPoint session on this one, and let's hit a couple of these videos, which some of you have seen before. So I apologize, but let's go ahead and hit these videos from inside the. You're probably not going to be able to hear the sound on these. This first one. All right, I don't know if you guys could hear the sound. Was that sound available to you at all?
No. I mean, I just kind of heard it sounded like background noise, but nothing I
Yeah.
could make out.
What's going on here? These are my rugby girls. I coach high school rugby, and a tradition in rugby, and it's a little bit gross, but it's also very exciting. Is that when you make a try, or when you are able to put the ball into the end zone and get a score for your team for the first time in your rugby career, you're supposed to do what's called shoot the boot, which basically means they fill your shoe up with water or liquid, and you have to drink out of it. And I know it sounds gross, but if you watch the video or do it online, the girls really, really like it. This next one, I know you're going to be able to hear the sound, but this is Sesame Street one about the letter Q. And he's talking about the letter Q. And he gets them to count from 1 to 10. And he gets all the way to 10. And he makes them repeat 10Q 3 times. And when he says 10Q, 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 he says, what? And he goes, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And it's just a really kind of a cute video. And the other one is, I'm not going to go through this one, but it's in the movie Hoosiers when Gene Hackman, who's been a very domineering coach, finally lets go and allows his players to call the last play of a championship game. And as he allows that player to make the call, it's a transition from his strength to his weakness. It's very emotional. I'll start it, and you may not be able to hear the sound, but you can watch the expression on his face as he asks his players what's going on. Anyways, it's a very, very, very emotional scene. The way it's acted and the way it's videoed is wonderful. So you're starting to begin to realize that video is very, very strong when it comes to telling stories, visual and audio, and emotions for individuals. Any questions on videos before I proceed to the next portion? Okay. So where can I get videos? Well, since this is about Archibus, I recommend going to Archibus TV. Also go to other business partner sites and to record your own. I have a lesson on this website showing you how to use your own personal computer camera to record a message. It's not done very well. The quality's not great, but that wasn't the point. The point is that you can, in fact, use your own laptop to produce a message. I know that lately a lot of individuals have been saying that Snapchat is probably not good for business, and I actually use Snapchat pretty significantly. What I use Snapchat for is because I have staff that are all over the country and on site or working from home. I use Snapchat to kind of say, hey, this is where I'm at, what I'm doing. It does a 10-second video. It has an automatic connection and upload into Facebook, and we have a private RSC Facebook page. And so I'll be at a client site or at a conference, and I'll go, this is Bob, I'm here at this conference, and this is what's going on. And it's 10 seconds, and it loads, and it gets the message across. I do have my own tripod and my own video camera on some of the videos that you've seen. I also have a good wireless microphone. I'm still learning how to use that technology that's best as possible. But it is acceptable not to have an extremely professional video. It doesn't have to be extremely professional. Good sound is important. Message is important. But those it doesn't have to be done by a professional for thousands of dollars. There's a lot of homegrown videos. I also have a hyperlink on, and I'll show it to you at the end, a hyperlink on an individual who gives tips about how to use your camera on your computer to do that. But let's look at Archibus TV. If you take a look at Archibus TV, which is this YouTube channel right here, you're going to get the top splattering of some really nice videos. And most likely the ones that have just been put up in the recent past have gone up, here. I don't know if you knew this, but if you hit the videos tab, you're going to get a list of probably close to 200 videos that Archibus has recorded over the years. And these videos are all about Archibus, all about the user's experiences. Some of them are about training in the software itself, but they're very, very nice videos. And some of them are anywhere from 30 seconds to a couple minutes to almost 10 minutes, and they're all very, very good. And so that's all well and good, and you could use this in your social media, but you're not going to be able to track whether they're watching your posts or not if you send them here. What do I mean by that? So, for example, if I go to Saren's video here and I start it up, I can, in fact, come over here to the share and grab the link to Saren's video. And if I do that and place it on my website, they will be directed to YouTube. And when they're directed to YouTube, this counter right here of 23 views will show up. And Archibus will know that people have been watching their videos, but you won't know from your social media post if anybody viewed it. You may be able to see that they saw your post, but you won't know if they viewed your video. So this comes to kind of the point of my session here, is that since we're driving everything to our own websites to create our own marketing and our own excitement about Archibus, I'm going to get a little techie here. What I recommend is that we embed it into our web pages, and I'm going to show you how I do that here. Let me open up a page. Yes, as you can see, I do lots of web codes. So I'm going to open up my. So in the code here, what I recommend is that you use either something called FancyBox, or I use Big YouTube or Big YT. And basically what Big YT does, or FancyBox, is allow you to put the YouTube videos. You can see that I've got the YouTube video information here. But it allows it to stay on your site and for you to be able to capture that. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I go to my website here and I come to the home, you'll see that I've got here testimonials of the clients, my RSC clients of Archibus. And here is that video from Saren. Now, when I click this, you're going to notice that it opens up on my website, not YouTube. And even though it is in fact a YouTube video, it is opening up here on my RSC website. There's my logo in the background. Here's the video. It is playing with full sound and everything. The reason why I do that is for this reason right here, and that is I have, as I showed you in the past, used an application called Mautic. And so I'm going to sign into Mautic. And when what Mautic does is very similar to Google Analytics, but it analyzes a heck of a lot more. It knows when individuals have hit my website. So for example, I hit my website here just a few minutes ago in this session at 9:12. And I can see what pages I go to by how I've titled it. Now, because I opened it from the title page, that video did not show up. But let me show you some other videos that I do, in fact, have lined out. So if I come up here to, let's say, my videos on my website, there we go. I have a lot of these videos that are also from YouTube up on my website, but I also have them individualized. And these are called landing pages, and I'll do landing pages on another day. But so I now have a single page here, and when I click this video, I'll be able to have it come up and show the YouTube. Like I said, here's the YouTube video. And so before, I'm not going to bore you there. But when I come back to Mautic and refresh this, you'll be able to see that I've been capturing, some of these. Let me come back here to Mautic. I've been capturing some of these web page hits. It might not capture me because I'm the owner here, but I'll then begin to see how often and where people go on the website. And so it doesn't count it on YouTube, it counts it on my website. And the reason why I want that, and I have an example of it yesterday, and that is I was watching an individual hit my website 20 times. I mean, literally hit 20 different pages, and literally at the end of page 20, the phone rang, and it was that individual who was hitting my website. And I was able to have a conversation, and it's going to turn into a new client. And it's not because I was monitoring it, but it was because I was putting content on there that was interesting. And as they were going through my website, they found it interesting and decided to call me and get this work. So I've gone through some pretty techy and some pretty deep things here. I have more to talk about here, but I do want to pause for just a minute and ask if there's any questions about what I am saying or talking about or how I'm going forward with videos.
Bob,
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this is precisely the problem, well, it's the challenge that I'm working on right now, which is we do have videos on the website, we have videos on YouTube, but because they're on YouTube, whenever I post things to LinkedIn, as you pointed out, it drives people to YouTube, not the website. So I'm working to rectify that because I just made a very quick 30-second video for Archibus in line with what we're trying to do here, which is raise awareness. And it's on YouTube, but getting it on the website and tracking it is much more important for me. So it's good that you're showing this, because I was looking at your website and your videos and I was trying to figure out like how to duplicate what you were doing on our website, because it's the web designers who put it together, it's not a very intuitive type of a template. So,
yes.
But that is what I'm working on.
Okay, very good.
So it's good. Thanks.
Great. Anyone else have questions? Thank you, David. That was exactly where I'm headed. Any other questions on this? All right, let me just do a couple more things, and that is, let's look for Imagine It here. I know that Imagine It has their own YouTube channel. Yep, here it is right here. And these guys do videos on Archibus as well. And so if you find a video from someone else, as long as you cite that you're using that information from the source, it is an acceptable practice and actually ethical. And again, you could come in here and grab the share from these videos and use them. There are literally thousands of videos. So if you don't need to record things, if you find them, you can go ahead and use them. All right, let's come back here to some of the practices that I was going to help you with this. So I'm going to go to lesson 5. Please go here on page, and I want you to see that here's the hyperlink to Archibus TV. Here's the hyperlink to Imagine It. If you do your own website, there's an application called FancyBox. In FancyBox, has anybody used FancyBox? You guys know what FancyBox is, what it does?
No.
Okay. FancyBox is a freeware, an API that allows you to embed pictures on your own website. So if you just notice what I just did, I clicked that first picture, and it still stays on FancyBox. And you can now have that little X that closes it, very similar to what I was doing on my website. And down here, they've got these nice little ones where you can actually do what's called kind of like a slideshow. You can embed video here as well. And if you take a look at the site, you can download their software, or you can just copy and paste the necessary JavaScript and styling sheets that are necessary for you to do whatever you need to do. So it's freeware. And so my recommendation for you, like Dave and I were talking, is that if you want to take your video and you want to capture it from your own site, use something like Big YouTube or FancyBox to help keep that on your site, and then you can track it from your site. All right, so that's FancyBox. The other thing is that I would highly recommend. I'm going to start it here, but I'm going to have you guys do it on your own because of the sound. I would have you watch this last video. This last video is very, very good on what you should and should not do creating your video from your own camera, and it's very good about lighting, about where the laptop should be as you're doing it, how to get audio, what clothes to wear, whether you should rehearse. So I highly recommend this video. And again, it's found right here as the fourth one on my link here on this website for you. All right, let's get back to my slides. I think we were here and here. And I was now going through recommending this, embedding it on your site using FancyBox. And then when you embed it, you can now view your things from HubSpot, Armatic, or Google Analytics. I've done some demos as we've gone along. The only other thing I would say is that you can create some of your own content, your own videos. I did that lesson where basically you can come in here to the Windows icon and hit your camera. And when you hit your camera, you can see that, there I am in my world. And you can go ahead and videotape it as well. So record your own video, use video of YouTube or whatever you want. Yes, somebody had a question?
I'm sorry, your audio keeps dropping out. Maybe it's my phone.
No, it does. It'll probably record fine, but for some reason my internet, well, I've got teenage kids. Well, not teenage kids. Well, I do have teenage kids. Most of them are. I have two in my 20s and one that's 18, and they're probably watching anything they can watch. So I apologize. So questions about video? I'll do some more on video later. I'm actually going to, I'll have another session on using Camtasia and or Movie Maker, which is free, and other things like that. So any questions?
Bob?
Yes.
Fred.
Hi, Fred.
First of all, I love the movie Hoosiers and know that scene exactly what you were showing. But something you mentioned was actually is important. I just wanted to confirm. So anything from YouTube, any videos uploaded to YouTube is basically freeware, free to share, no licensing issues at all.
Yeah, in fact, they actually show you how to embed this. So
right.
For example,
right. Okay.
Yeah. If we go back to, let's go back to Archibus TV.
I guess I kind of knew that, but I've never, embedded videos in other websites, so I didn't really know the rules. But I guess anything from YouTube is just free to share.
Yeah, there's yes, if you don't want it shared, that's why you'll see it being taken down a lot, right? So in other words, like Saturday Night Live is big on that. Saturday Night Live does not allow a lot of their stuff on there. They have their own channel. And when I was explaining to my kids some of the Saturday Night Live skits that I watched when I was a kid, I would go to YouTube and try to find them, and occasionally I'd find them, and then I'd go back a couple days later and they were gone, and that was just simply because they didn't want them on there anymore, right? But you agree that if it's here, it's kind of public domain. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm actually still showing, when I'm doing this, I'm still showing these videos like this one here. I'm still showing this video from YouTube. It is still happening from the YouTube site. If you take a look right down, here to the left-hand corner, it is a YouTube video. I am not doing anything, or I didn't copy it to my website. I didn't embed it on my servers. All I'm doing is you can see my URL is still the web page I was starting at on my site, and it is a YouTube video that is opening up inside my website, but still hitting YouTube as its delivery source.
Sure.
Okay. I still have not been able to determine whether or not it tracks this both on YouTube and your website. I don't believe it does track it back to YouTube if you've done this embedding.
Right.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Well, that's a good point too. I mean, I guess it can't, but that's an interesting point. If you've embedded the videos from YouTube, then there's only one place it's going to track. It'll track on your site. It won't track the number of views on YouTube unless it's just a direct link to YouTube.
Yes. I haven't verified that yet. That I don't know if that's true, but I was attempting to do. I was doing doing a test the other day, and from everything I could tell, is that it doesn't track it in both places. It only tracks it from one. But I need to verify that.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
All right. Well, if that's if there's no more questions, thank you. And is there something that you would like to know about social media? Otherwise, other than I'm going to do a second video one next week. Is there something else that you guys would like to know about social media that I could work on for next week? Anyone?
I'll think about it. I might email you, but
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Good.
There might be something.
So David and Fred, thanks for the comments today, and Kim as well. It helps to understand that you guys are looking at it the same way I'm looking at it, that you're trying to get your YouTube videos to be able to be trackable from either Mautic or HubSpot or whatever other application you're using that's tracking Google Analytics from your website. So that's good. All right. With that being said, guys, we shall see you next week. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Bob.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.